Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/BestOf for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, of course, Satan is not a pogo stick. The original OP is u/throwaway 909066, posted April 17th, 2020, on r/relationships. Is it worth it to try to work things out with my boyfriend who is jealous of my stepbrother? My boyfriend, 19 male, and I, 19 female, have been dating for just over a year. We're both in university and currently taking online classes due to the lockdown. When they announced the transition to online classes, I decided to move back to my mom's, about an hour and a half away. My town is a bit of a student town. There aren't many grocery delivery services and I don't drive. I didn't want to rely on the reduced bus service. My boyfriend tried to convince me to move in with him, but I refused because I didn't like the idea of being an illegal tenant in a house with 4 guys in 1 bathroom. My boyfriend was not happy with this. I've been back for 3 weeks and things have been tense, especially surrounding my stepbrother, 22 male. My mom remarried when I was 15 and she moved her new husband and his son in. I've known stepbrother, SB, for 5 years, and our relationship was always friendly, but distant. He's lived at home the entire time, and worked as a bartender prior to the quarantine. Ever since I moved back in, boyfriend has been on my case about spending too much time with stepbrother. He gets really upset because we drive around aimlessly every day. I'm on a learner's permit and stepbrother is helping me practice while the streets are empty, and the fact that we hang out and watch stuff together. Here, the weather was nice this week, and stepbrother and I decided to eat our lunches in the backyard, picnic style. Boyfriend freaked out when he realized, accused me of going on quarantine dates behind his back. I didn't even tell him this. I guess he stalked stepbrother's Instagram story, and it wasn't a date. We're going into week 5 of quarantine, bored out of our minds and doing anything possible for a slight change of pace. Boyfriend called me yesterday and told me that he was unhappy, felt disrespected, and that I needed to make a change to keep the relationship. He told me that stepbrother and I are not like regular siblings. We didn't grow up together, and so he's afraid things will escalate between us. I think this is gross. Stepbrother is not someone I would ever consider dating, and I'm certain he feels the same. Boyfriend told me that I would need to stop hanging out with stepbrother and spend more time FaceTiming and texting. Currently, we FaceTime every day, minimum 1 hour. But he said his ideal would be 3 to 4 hours. I think this is crazy, and part of me wants to tell him to shove it. But we had a great relationship before this, and another part of me wants to fight and save it. I know my boyfriend, and I'm fairly sure he's acting like this because he's still upset that I didn't move in with him. But it's going on week 4, and I'm not sure how much more I can handle. What should I do? Too long didn't read, moved back home for the lockdown, my boyfriend is acting possessive and jealous over me spending time with my stepbrother. Relevant comments. Single War 5. Dude, you're finally seeing who your boyfriend really is. He wanted you to live with him so he could monitor you. Obi responds, I didn't even consider this, but you might be right. When we've thought about this, he's alluded to feeling like the situation was out of his control. User Fascination Street comments, well, he made it easy for you to see that he's an immature person who's jealous and controlling. Yes, tell him to shove it because he will never shut up about this. He's going to be jealous of your stepbrother forever. Stepbrother isn't going anywhere, so imagine listening to this crap for years to come. No. OP responds, as stupid as this sounds, I didn't even consider the fact that he will always be like this. So far, the thing keeping me from ending it is the idea that quarantine is temporary and we will go back to normal when this is done. But you're right, there's no guarantee he won't be jealous after the fact. OP when asked if her boyfriend knows why she didn't move in with him for quarantine. Thank you for taking the time to write all this out. I think he does understand why I didn't move in with him, essentially, since it could land me in trouble with bylaw. Would count as a gathering now, one of the roommates brought his girlfriend over, subject to a fine of like $800. I think he wanted us to be one big quarantine family, and have parties and whatnot together. He assured me that we could skirt by undetected, but I really didn't want to chance it. I also didn't want to be that person, you know? I think taking a break to clear my head is a great idea. I'll tell him this. He won't like it, but his reaction will determine what I need to do. Update, April 19th, 2020, 2 days later. After I posted, I took some time to read the comments and form a plan. I texted boyfriend, telling him essentially that I needed a bit of space to take a breather and reevaluate. I made it clear that I didn't want to break up, but felt like I was always being monitored and I wanted to make a game plan to have healthy communication through this pandemic. He called me super upset and accused me of choosing Stepbrother over him. I told him that it wasn't about Stepbrother. It's not like I chose Stepbrother. He's literally just someone I get along with who I can hang out with during the pandemic. I explained to him that it was not like I was spending every waking moment with him. I do my homework in the morning, we hang out in the afternoon, and my evening time is divided between the four of us: mom, stepdad, and stepbrother, and FaceTiming boyfriend. Boyfriend then accused me of doing special boyfriend activities with stepbrother. He told me that it was always his dream to teach me to drive. He doesn't even have his permit. Am I supposed to wait around for him to get it? Also, apparently, me teaching stepbrother how to bake bread, which is stupid because I was going to make the bread to begin with, and stepbrother helped by moving the heavy mixer, eating half the almond slices, and taking pictures for Instagram. He also screamed at me for not moving in, saying how all this would have been prevented if we were living together. I told him that I have no interest in living somewhere that I'm not allowed to be. I can't afford a fine from bylaw, and if I were to get kicked out, it would be more difficult to find my way home since I didn't drive. In the end, I told boyfriend that I would not give up my relationship with stepbrother, who is part of my family and a genuinely nice guy, to ease my boyfriend's insecurities and cater to his demands. I told boyfriend that I needed time to cool down, and that I'd talk to him in a few days. That was all on Friday, and today, I reached out to see how he was. He was still pissed at me and accusatory, so I basically told him that this wasn't working and I wanted to break up. I did it over text, and then blocked him, which probably makes me an asshole, but I literally couldn't deal with any more of him yelling at me and insulting my family. Anyway, thanks to everyone who commented. I'm really sad this is the outcome, and I've been crying a lot. But I'm also kinda relieved. Too long didn't read, we broke up because he couldn't see how controlling he was being. So at first I was willing to give a little bit of benefit of the doubt because walking into a long distance relationship coming from one that's physical is difficult, and there's gonna be a lot of hiccups and a lot of bumps. And yeah, I can understand him wanting a 3 to 4 hour phone call because he misses her. But then he kept making missteps. Missteps which amplified his other choices, his other decisions that he made along the way. Missteps that became purposeful, manipulative, controlling. Whether or not he meant for it to happen, he was certainly doing so. Weird, dumb things, like being the one to teach his girlfriend how to drive, being one of his major dreams that she was now actively doing these special activities with her stepbrother. It's just goofy, controlling behavior. What I was hoping just to be growing pains with a long-distance relationship turned into obvious red flags as the mask began to slip. Also, if this is how he's behaving with her stepbrother, how the hell would he have handled her living in a house with 3 other guys sharing one bathroom? Not to mention, regardless of whether her boyfriend was controlling or not, I feel like that would be like a hellscape scenario to be put into. I can't even imagine having to share a single bathroom with 4 other people. That would not be fun. And that's not even the fact that, like, I'm a guy and they'd all be guys. Flip those tables and that gets uncomfy real fast. This post was collected by Lucy Aria Rose, and their tagline is, "I'm keeping the garlic." The original OP is KittyHawko12, posted in r/mytheasshole, May 16th, 2025. Am I the asshole for buying myself an Xbox when my boyfriend said he got me one for my birthday last year? My boyfriend, 20 years old, and I, 24 years old, have been dating for about a year and a half now. We're long distance, and he's been out here to visit me about 4 times. For weeks at a time. Last year, on my birthday, in June, he had told me he got me an Xbox. I was really excited because I've had mine since 2016. We met for the first time last October. He didn't bring it with him that time. No big deal, he only had a small bag with him that time. Fast forward to December. He came out for Christmas. He brought a bigger bag, and even asked if he could bring his PS5 so we could play games together, and I said yes. After Christmas, he went home, and I asked about the Xbox. Whenever I asked him, he got frustrated and said I was nagging him about it, but he'll just send it to me in the mail. A few weeks go by, and nothing, so I ask him again, and he gets really upset again. He said it was in a box under his bed, and he didn't want to deal with it right now. It got to the point where I just said that it didn't matter whether or not he bought it, I just wanted to know. We got into a huge fight about it again, and I told him I wanted proof that he actually had it. He sent me a picture of the box. I was suspicious about it because he had mentioned to me before that his best friend had the same Xbox I wanted. So, in my head, I was thinking that he had just taken a picture of his friend's old Xbox box. But I promised him I'd let it go after he sent the picture, so I didn't bring it up. That was sometime in January. My birthday is coming up again. And we were on the phone and he was talking about things to get me. For his birthday, I had gotten him a game and a vinyl wrap for his PS5. So I had told him a wrap for the Xbox would be cool. My way of hinting that I wanted my Xbox. And he said no, and that he'd think of something better. I promised him I wouldn't bring it up again, but it's been almost a year. He's coming out for my birthday. So I thought maybe he'd bring it. We were texting about my gift the other day and he had mentioned he needed to buy what he was getting me. So to me, it sounded like he wasn't bringing it. I'd been wanting this Xbox for so long, and I was sick of waiting. So I went looking on eBay and bought one. It's coming this weekend. So I had to tell him. I told him not to be mad, but I bought myself the Xbox. I tried to explain my reasoning and that I didn't want to wait anymore because my Xbox now barely works. But he got so mad at me and just said that was a fucking waste of $500. So I offered to pay him back for it, and he said he doesn't want my money. Now he's really upset with me, and it has me questioning if it was messed up that I ended up buying the Xbox for myself. Too long didn't read, my boyfriend told me he bought me an Xbox for my birthday last year in June. He never bought it. I bought it for myself, and now he's pissed at me. Am I the asshole? Some of OP's comments. Commenter, not the asshole. That Xbox doesn't exist. He just wanted brownie points without making the brownie. Also, him getting mad over it every time is kinda a red flag. So I'm not one to say break up, but consider if he's worth this. OP responds, yeah, I was dreading telling him that I got it, but he's younger, so I figure that maybe he's got that mindset that he needs to get me expensive gifts to keep me, even though I've made it clear that I don't need gifts like that. Responding to a deleted comment, OP, downvoted. Other than impossibly lying about the Xbox, we haven't had many big issues. We both did end up giving each other good Christmas gifts. It's just the Xbox that has been a big problem. Why the fuck was OP downvoted? As conspiratorial as this sounds, my guess would be, knowing Reddit, the deleted comment was probably about the fact that OP's boyfriend is super abusive and they need to realize that, and OP was just stating, like, no, I haven't really seen any abuse or any issues besides the Xbox. And that's why they were downvoted. I know that might seem like a long stretch, but that's the only reason why I could think of why OP was downvoted. Ugh. Anyways, commenter, I know you guys are long distance, but just curious. In the past year, why did you not visit him and collect it? OP responds, I haven't had paid time off to be able to go out there. I had to take medical leave, so I used all my hours right before. Update on the same post, 8 hours later. Update. He ended up sending a long text this morning about how pissed he was, and that it was stupid that I bought it for myself. He was going to bring it. The only reason he didn't tell me was because it was supposed to be a surprise for my birthday. He said he's pissed because he bought more accessories for the Xbox too. So now he's spent well over $600. But now that I bought one for myself, I should keep it, and he's not going to give me anything he got. I told him that he should have just sent it in the first place, and it wouldn't have got to the point where I had to buy it myself. I also explained that I didn't need expensive gifts, and if he didn't get it for me and just wanted to impress me, he should have told me when I gave him the opportunity to come clean. He explained the reason everything was so expensive was because I liked gaming and Legos, which are expensive, so it wasn't to impress me. He apologized because he made me so upset about it for so long, and that he didn't think about it because it was under his bed. I told him I felt like he never listened or cared about it because I had nagged him multiple times about sending it, but he somehow still forgot. He apologized for being lazy and making it seem like he didn't care about it, how he should have brought it in the first place, and how he was wrong for not doing that. I'm even more conflicted at this point. Maybe I should have just waited for my birthday, but it genuinely sounded like he wasn't going to bring it. Opie's comments. Do a longer comment. I think a video call would be a really good idea. At this point, I really do feel like he's just been lying this whole time. Commenter. Can't he bring what he brought for you and you return the one you bought? Opie responds, I think that's what he would have suggested if he actually had the Xbox. After this morning, I really don't think he has it. Final update on the same post, 10 hours later. 18 from the OG post. Final update. I ended things with him today. I couldn't do it on the phone, so I did it over text. Everything he said proved that you were all right. He's trying to manipulate me back into the relationship, but I'm at my breaking point. Thank you all for your help on this. So I was curious to see what that longer comment that was excluded from the post entailed. Artistic Onion 6395 commented, Thank you. I was incredibly curious, lol. After reading the update though, I think it's likely that he's lied further as a way to guilt you. It's very convenient. Do you guys have the ability to video call? I'd be asking to do that, and see the accessories in Xbox, preferably in their original packages. ASAP to confirm it's real. If he doesn't want to, I think you could take that as an admission that he's lying for sure. I dated a chronic liar, and I have to say, the way you are being made to feel is very similar to how I felt. It's really hard to wrap your head around someone lying when you yourself aren't a liar. Honestly, it's more confusing than anything. Like, why? What's the point? It messed with my head for a long time and resulted in some abuse that turned physical. Still, the lying and psychological manipulation / gaslighting was the worst part. All this to say, if you are sure he's lying and that he's manipulating you, it's not something that can really be fixed and should be ended sooner than later. Even if you never understand it, saying and trying to talk about it forever or figure out why he lied will just hurt you further in the long term. Also, have you shown him a pic of the Xbox you bought yet? You might be able to do some 4D chess and hide it, and lie and say that you only said you bought it as a way to see if he'd actually gotten you one, and see if he shows up with the Xbox and accessories, lol. But only if you need that closure to know for 100% sure whether he's lying or not. Personally, if he refused to show me the goods via a video call today, I just call it quits. And that, of course, was the comment which warranted the response from Kitty Hawk about the video call, and how it might be a good idea to see if he's just been lying the whole time. So, in a situation like this, I'm certainly inclined to believe that there was no Xbox to be gifted. Because if there was, and I told, my long-distance partner, oh, I got you an Xbox, but, I fucked up with forgetting to bring it there, there would be photographic evidence of that gift existing, that same day, as I promise I have this for you, I'm just big dumb. But a year going by and feeling stressed out about questions about when they're getting their birthday present, a year later, definitely raises the alarm bells that they're most certainly lying. Because, I could understand if maybe he was feeling guilt or remorse or any other emotion about the fact that he had failed to deliver the gift to his girlfriend. But the fact that he was upset with her and getting the impression that she was nagging him over her birthday present that he promised for her very much feels like the gift never existed. And then, of course, also when she bought her own, suddenly it's, but I got you a bunch of accessories. Okay, bring the accessories then, dude. And my guess would be is the reason why he didn't, accept the money for that or, recommend returning it is because, one, Xbox was never there, and two, if he did ask for money back, then he's just stealing $500 from his girlfriend. So, Yeah. Like, even as, like, a chronically ADHD person who has gaps in object permanence, like, this is something that I wouldn't even fuck up on. Like, even if I did put it under my bed and had forgotten about something, but then I received a text like, hey, where's this birthday gift? That gift would be out from under the bed and by the front door that night as a reminder of, get this taken care of, you idiot. But hey, maybe he did buy an Xbox, but just didn't actually give enough of a shit to really gift it, and maybe he was hoping the relationship would fall apart so he could just have the Xbox. You never know. Either way, dude fucked up, is no longer in a relationship. If he did have the Xbox, he should have just sent it. Like, come on, buddy. Personally, though, I don't think there was an Xbox. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, of course, Satan is not a pogo stick. The original OP is u/notero850, posted to r/relationship advice, December 2nd, 2021. My girlfriend's girls' nights out included her friend's significant others. I feel left out. So, to make a long story short, my girlfriend of nearly 3 years has always had her girls' nights out, every 2 to 3 weeks or so, which is perfectly fine because I also had nights out where I did stuff with my friends as well. We're all in our mid to late 20s, by the way. But yesterday, while my girlfriend's friend and her boyfriend hung out at our place, the boyfriend referenced something that happened on Saturday, which was her last night out. I was confused, and after a bit of probing, found out that not only is he a regular on these nights out, but her other 2 friends bring their own boyfriends along as well. It's just me, who has never been asked, nor even informed that these girls' nights out weren't the just need to be with my girls for a bit, relaxing nights as she used to claim. Literally a few weeks ago, we talked about her upcoming night out with them, and she told me something like, sometimes I just really need to be just with the girls. Of course, I asked her once we were alone why she's never brought it up or why I've never been invited. But she just kept claiming that the guys weren't always invited, and most of the time they just tagged along. Honestly, I feel pretty alone and disrespected right now. Plus, even now, almost 3 years later, I feel like I'm barely in her friend group. I feel like if they were all meeting up anyway, I could have been there and maybe have become friends with them as well. Unlike her, I do invite my girlfriend around to do stuff with my own set of friends. A lot. Now it feels like it wasn't just the girls she wanted to see, but rather that she just really didn't want to spend that time with me, while her friends had no problem spending their time together with their boyfriends. I don't really know what to think or what to do. Relevant comments. Is Shindi Zahul? I think you're entitled to feel bad. She's been masking going out with her friends under girls' night. There's nothing wrong with her wanting to go out without you, but the lying part makes it weird and borderline disrespectful. I don't think this is an isolated incident, and you feel hurt because there have been other issues, right? OP responds, I don't really know. I mean, everyone has their preferences and their own character. She's always been a bit more cold in the way she acts than my previous partners, but I never thought that she'd feel like she needed this much of a break from me and the relationship as a whole. As I said in my post, I wouldn't have had an issue at all if this was just a girls' night out, and if she did really need to have a bit of a break. But she was literally meeting up with her group of friends and their boyfriends. I genuinely can't imagine going out with my extended friend group twice in a row without even asking my girlfriend to be there with me. More often than not, she comes with me. So I just don't really understand why'd she want to separate me from her side of friends like that. I just don't know how to feel right now. Ishindi Zahul responds, you feel hurt, and that's natural. There's nothing wrong with that. When you talk to her, I'd suggest to focus on the why. Why lie? Why keep you apart from the group? Why the need for a break? This issue overall can be the tip of an iceberg of something much bigger hurting your relationship. Sure, it could be she's just an ass, but in that case, there's not much you can do. User Ocean as a being comments, straight up, just confront her with the, why did I have to find this out? Why wasn't I informed? Why did I have to probe about the girls' night out? It could be nothing, probably is, but she needs to understand that it's not fair to you. Make it clear that it's not a fight and you just want to clear the air. She's gonna get offended though. People are so used to people being fake that speaking directly is seen as aggressive. I wish you luck, fam, and stay strong, my brother, and remember that you're the victim. Don't play the victim card, but keep in mind that you did nothing wrong, and you're just wanting to know what you don't know, and this is where it could get hairy. What's most important is why it took so long for you to know these things. Oh, hell nah, dude. I'm the jealous type, and I would have made a scene. That's probably why I'm single, so, you know. Take it with a grain of salt, Opie responds. Maybe I should have properly confronted her. It was already late, so all we did was me asking it and her hand waving me away, more or less. I will talk to her again. This is really bothering me if I'm being honest. I love her so much, and I always try to include her and basically just spent more time with her. Finding out that she's been keeping me away from these nights out for whatever reason has really hurt me. All I can think of is this: if she really needs such a break from me in the relationship, while her friends clearly don't, then is it even a relationship she's happy in? Update: December 4th, 2021, 2 days later. Hey, so first of all, thank you all for your comments. I couldn't reply to them all due to the thread being locked. I read through them all, and I did what I probably should have done directly when it first happened. I went and talked to her. To make a long story short, there were never any girls' nights out. These were always simple nights out with her friend group. So, why wasn't I invited? Because they all hate my guts due to her own fault. According to her, my girlfriend said back when we started dating, she'd always vent to them about me. All these small issues we fixed between her nights out and literally never talked about again was all her friend group knew about me. Issue after issue, but never how we fix it together as well. She realized that as well, and stopped venting about me, but at that point, it was, according to her, too late. They'd always joke about me behind their backs. The feeling I had of being ostracized on the rare occasions where one of her friends would hang out at our place wasn't just a feeling after all. They do really hate me. I simply wanted to know why she was okay with that, and why she wouldn't stand up for our relationship. She said she wasn't okay with that, but what could she do? Her friends would have shit-talked her if she said anything. Not only that, but her friends have me as the butt of all of their jokes. In their minds, I'm an incompetent, impotent buffoon. All these fucking side eyes I got when I would talk to any of them wasn't just in my imagination. I talked to my girlfriend back then, and she'd always say, "It's just in your head." To be honest, it made me mad that she was trying to be the victim in this situation, and I don't know why, but finding out that they despise me and my supposed-to-be girlfriend is tolerating it and wouldn't defend me made me really, really upset. If I'm being honest at this point, I kind of mentally checked out, and I already knew that I won't allow this disrespect and that this relationship is already through. Yet there is so much I don't understand. So I asked her simply, why? Why would you be okay with any of that, and why wouldn't you either stop being friends or literally demanding them to stop talking like that about us and me? All she said was something like, "You know how I am. I don't really like being the center of attention." I just kept quiet. Finally, I just asked her if anything would change going forward, and she said she could try talking to them individually, but she said it in such a timid way that I don't think for a second she actually meant it. Anyway, long story short, I broke up with her. It sucks, and I feel really badly about myself right now. I've always tried to be the best version of myself in this relationship, but knowing that there is a whole group of people out there who literally hate me, and the one person who is supposed to love and defend me no matter what, yet didn't, kinda sucks. Too long didn't read. We talked. Found out there were no nights out. Her friend group hates me, and she tolerated and wouldn't even entertain the thought of changing anything about it. I broke up with her. Final comments. Can't even remember comments. So I gotta ask, what was her reaction to being broken up with? OP responds, she cried and begged me not to, but as I said above, I asked her if anything at all would change, but even then she wouldn't budge. I was 99% sure I was going to end that talk broken up with her, but after seeing her in action, in the actual talk, just solidified it so much more. She left her BFF's apartment and hasn't messaged me yet, but to be honest, there isn't really anything she could say to change my mind by now. I loved and still do love her a lot, but I'm still trying to process her friends more or less bullying me indirectly and her literally just being okay with it. This isn't the kind of person I thought she'd be, nor the kind of person I want in my life. Overripe Cucumber responds, it isn't just her friends though. She wasn't okay with it as an observer. She said all those terrible things about you to them. She made them think all this garbage. She was the one bad-mouthing you and making you the butt of the joke. Only after she had laid down all that groundwork did she stop to think how things had become. And she lied to you many times and knowingly gaslit you. You deserve so much better. I hope you're able to find someone who is more respectful of you in the future. Her character flaws finally revealed themselves, and she was not a great partner to you. I'm sorry. This one hits grotesquely close to home for me because I've been in this exact scenario, where one of my exes previously just spent way too much fucking time always shit-talking every little fuck-up that I would make to their friends and family. So they just saw me as just this complete fucking incompetent monster. Anytime that I would correct or fix anything, that was never explained. Or hell, even if it was their fault to begin with. I've been in this exact boat, where it literally just compounds until everyone around you that they have forced you to be around fucking hates you. It reached a point where they were literally behind my back seeing someone else for 6 fucking months, and everyone was on their side about it because they all thought that I was some kind of monster because they had never once ever thought to correct the fact that, oh hey, I misunderstood him in this situation. Oh hey, turns out this wasn't a big deal and we worked it out. No. Instead, it was just the constant compounding over and over and over and over again. Like, this is such a shitty and isolating feeling, especially when they purposely cut you off from a lot of your friends and you're alone, and all you have is their friend group. So now, when you're going on social events, everyone just fucking looks at you like you're a monster, and you have no idea why. And you begin to believe it. You begin to wonder why. You begin to feel like you're othered, and there's gotta be a reason because there's no fucking way that so many people could just look at you like that for no reason. It took 2 years for me to find out why. For me to find out why everyone had gone from enjoying spending time with me to just suddenly hating me. The side eyes, the glances, they always told me I was overthinking things when it came to their friends, but when it came to family, they were pretty upfront that their family didn't like me. And when I would ask why, like where did they get these impressions from, the conversation would always stop there. And that should have been a massive sign of why, or who, in that matter. But that was during a time of my life where I couldn't question the reality around me. Or else. The thing is that once OP breaks up with his girlfriend, she's never going to admit what happened. She's never going to take responsibility for why they broke up. He'll continue being the butt of her jokes, but she'll have to live with the guilt of that. Or hey, maybe she'll just end up believing the jokes about it. In the end, OP has already made the best choice he could make. And the next best thing he can do is do well by himself. To prove them wrong, to build himself up, to walk away from this as a stronger person than he was walking in. Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code ODDS at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code ODDS directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Bear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm gonna choose some degenerate shit that's gonna make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code ODDS at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.